Yo, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time you're watching this. We're back with another weekly markup. I literally just got done with the weekly markup, so let's get into it. NZDCAD. Let's start off on the monthly time frame on NZDCAD. You can see bullish, daily bullish turning bearish, H4, H1 bearish. And it's early too, by the way. And the market has not opened. It opens later on. It's Sunday, but I kind of wanted to upload this video when the market opened, but since I'm done already, might as well do it now. So on the monthly, it kind of does look bearish, but I do have it as bullish because one, we do have a bullish engulfing candle right here, right back above 080, and obviously 080 is a really strong area of demand, strong area of supply below, demand above, demand support, the same thing, right? There is a big difference though between demand and supply. Demand and support, right? Support also is more like this. This is your support, right? Area of supply is kind of more like this, even though it's still technically the same. And right here, I'm gonna put a meltdown, right? So this is what I call demand, and this is what I call support. And obviously this previous area of demand turns into new supply, and this is what I call support. It's technically the same thing, but the areas of demand or supply are really strong compared to the support, which is just really small candles. But it's also not ranging, because it's just support. For example, here we have support, but we do have support on top of an area of demand. So it kind of confluence, but it's still kind of the same thing. So, and then not only do we have a monthly bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, we have series of higher lows, and then price failed to keep on breaking lows below 0.78 500. As you can see, I'm gonna have this over here. Price failed to keep on breaking lows below 0.78 500 and close with equal lows. As you can see, so now we hop into the monthly, then to the weekly. You can see on the weekly we have a bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, right? And then again, 0.80 is above 0.80, which is a strong area or a key level. Above it, buys. Above it, buys. Below sells. And we currently just closed with a huge bullish engulfing candle above. So we might, if we hop into the daily now, you see on the daily we're respecting previous area of demand right here, which is at 0.81 300. We're respecting it as supply. So this could give us a pullback again into 0.80. And this 0.80 could give us a continuation to the upside. And this could be a higher time frame, lower high. Or we could break below and continue south. This would actually be a really good trade right here. So I'm actually gonna set my alert right here. So we have a possible trade already at 0.80. And we did miss out on these sales right here, this smaller time frame sales. Now we hop into the 4 hour. The 4 hour was already bearish. We had the double top below, double top under 0.81 300, and then the lower high in the bearish engulfing candle. So after noticing this double top and then this bearish engulfing candle in the lower high, it should have been go time to sell. I don't know how I missed this trade. 70 pips, I would have been in the trade right now. And look, this is what I'm talking about a support. You see, support. But now the support is looking like it's literally it's already getting ran through. So when it starts looking too good to be true, as you can see, the moment you saw this lower high being created and price testing the area of support already, you should have gotten out of your buys and enter sales. So that actually adds more confluence to price dropping to 0.80 and giving us that push. But then we still have to wait for the candle to close above here, right, and give us something like this. You don't want to just enter just as price test 0.80. You want to wait for the candle close and the higher low and the bullish engulfing candle again, and then the higher low above that, and you want to start seeing some bullish structure above here. If not, price is going to break below and continue selling. Now let's get into USDCAD. Monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, H4, H1 bearish. NZDCAD, USDCAD is fully bearish. So on the monthly, you could already see on the monthly, strong area of supply got respected below 146,500. Then we have a huge bearish engulfing candle below 142 and 139, which 139, as you can see, was a strong area of supply, strong area of supply, strong area of supply. Then price, look at that bullish engulfing candle, and then boom, we ran through it all the way to 146, which was obviously previous area of supply. And then after price tested 146,500, it melted right back below. Bearish engulfing candle below 142 and 139, and we're currently below 139. Look at that. Where we previously had the monthly double bottom above 135,500, we went into 139, tested it previously again as supply, and then we're melting again back below. So we respected it perfectly. So that's why we're right now still bearish. If we would have broken above here, bullish engulfed that created a higher low, then we would have been bullish. Because then I would have liked to see something like this again to happen. But obviously we respected it as supply, continued melting. Then on the weekly, ooh, after seeing this weekly close, dude, weekly bearish engulfing kind of close. It should have been gold time for sales. What? I have no idea how I missed this trade. And I think I had gone over last week's weekly markup. Bearish engulfing candle, price came back, pulled back into the previous area of demand, tested it as supply, and boom. You see how this is a strong area of demand? Because you wouldn't call this a support, right? And you wouldn't call this a resistance. It's just one test. So what do you call this? A strong area of supply, which gave us 170 pips. So you would already been up 170 pips on the trade. And it's strong because price has obviously not came back and took out the salary just yet. So I do still think that price is gonna keep on melting, maybe to 135, 500, and then here we might have a potential pullback, or price can break below and continue melting. And actually I do think that this candle is gonna close like this, huge bearish engulfing candle, confirming that we are gonna continue melting to 135, 500. On the daily we do have this zone right here, right, and we are below it. So you can see below the zone sells, below the zone sells, below the zone sells, above the zone buys. What are we doing? Bearish engulfing candle below the zone. Then now we hop into the 4 hour. Actually now I can see price might give us a retest into the zone, something like this, to continue to. So actually this could be a potential trade right here, right? So somewhere around here we could be looking for a trade, and if the sales don't happen, then we're most likely gonna get the buys early and not test the 135-100. But I still think that we're gonna test this zone. Well, mainly we don't even have to test this zone. Price could really melt from here, but I do think that price is coming all the way to 135-500. So now let's go to USDJPY, monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1 bullish, turning bearish. Let's get it. So we want to start off from the monthly. You could already see we're bullish. Drink your water. So we're on the monthly. Previous support above 101. Beautifully respected. Monthly bullish engulfing candle about 125, which is obviously a previous strong area of supply, strong area of demand, demand above, supply below, supply below, supply below, and then it turned into demand again with that huge bullish engulfing candle. We have a higher low above it. Nice support being respected above 140. Bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above 151 and 152. And as you can see, we're right below 160, and we're actually rejecting it. And what 160 is a previous strong area of, as you can see, strong area of supply, strong area of supply, and we're literally just testing it again. This strong ass push gave us 8,000 pips. And then again, an area of supply could turn into a strong area of demand, and we are bullish. Now what happened to the weekly? You can see in the weekly we are above a previous strong area of supply again, which is 158,500, and we actually have a bullish engulfing candle above it, and we're still trading above it, and price is bullish. Support respected above 140, bullish engulfing candle above 151 and 152, and the higher lows above. Now we hop into the daily. Daily still bullish. It's kind of turning bearish because we are getting lower highs, as you can see, but price is still overall bullish. I would not consider the daily bearish until we have a bearish engulfing candle below these lows, and maybe even with the lower high, because this could still be a fake out and price could continue flying from here when the market opens. Now on the 4 hour though, on the 4 hour you could actually see that it is bullish turning bearish. The same thing, we're fully bearish once we break below these lows right here. If not, price could literally respect it as a support and continue bullish. And as you can see, we just barely broke about 158,500. So what is price gonna do? Are we gonna reject below and continue creating that lower high, or are we gonna break above, create the higher low, and continue bullish? So we have to wait. We have to wait for this move or for this move. And some good setups are popping up for this week. So now let's get into GJ, and then GU. So you always want to start out your top down analysis from the monthly into the lower time frame to whatever time frame you trade on, and then on the monthly on GJ you can see we're correlating with USDJPY. We're fully bullish. Support respected above 180. Previous strong area of supply and demand at 195. We can see we're above it. Create a bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above it. And then another previous strong area of supply, which is 208. You can see gave us this previous strong drop of 2,000 pips. And price, what did price do? It bullish engulfed above it and created a higher low. And now we're testing another previous strong area of supply, which is 215. You can see this strong area of supply gave us 9,000 pips, and price is literally testing it again. And this shit happened back in 2008. Remember the crazy shit that was going on in 2008? Well, there's crazy shit going on around this time around this year. But now since we are bullish though, because you can see this time we were bearish, but right now we're bullish. So maybe price could actually, since the sales are not having any strength, we could actually break above, test it as a higher low, and continue, right? Because 240 still has not been tested, and these sellers are still in the market. There's people that are still holding these sales risk-free since all the way freaking 2007. Look at this shit. Almost 20 years. They've been holding sales. Holy smokes. so we have to watch out. Right here, price at 215. Right now on the smaller time frames we're rejecting. That's why on the H4, on the H1, it's bullish turning bearish. So let's see on the weekly. You could already see on the weekly we're fully bullish. Support respected. Bullish engulfing candle higher low above 195. Bullish engulfing candle higher low above 208. And then price flew all the way to 215. And then we hop into the daily. Higher low and bullish engulfing candle above 208. And then we had this daily demand zone, which broke structure. Price came back, tested it, and respected it, and continued bullish. And then we have this previous area of daily supply. We bullish engulfed that, and right now it looks like we're gonna come and test it. So it looks like we're gonna have another trade-off. This previous area of supply and demand. We're either gonna test this previous area of supply and demand and respect it and continue bullish, or we're gonna break below it, reject it, and continue bearish. That's all that could happen, right? And this daily, we might get a bearish engulfing candle below 215. So actually, and especially if we break below here, sales definitely all the way to 208, definitely. And then at 208 we have to be careful. 208 we could still break below here and continue selling. So once price reaches this zone right here, which is 213,300, 213,200, about 213,200, 300, we have to watch out for it, either for the buys above or the sells below. Then on the 4-hour, we already have a H4 bearish engulfing candle. That's why, well, actually on the 4-hour, that's why it's bullish turning bearish, because price can still come over here, which is the previous strong area of supply, turn into demand and respect it as demand and continue bullish. That's why it's still bullish turning bearish. It would be fully bearish once we have a bearish engulfing candle below here and a lower high, something like this. Then for me, that would be fully bearish. But for now, we could get the buys here and price will still be bullish, right? So we have to wait. Some really good setups actually this week. And then last but not least, GBPUSD, monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1 bullish turning bearish, correlating with GJ. Wait. I'm just trying to make sure that I wasn't showing GU when it was supposed to be GJ. But you can pause it and read it. And now we're on GU. So let's get into GU. Let's get on the monthly. You always want to start, well, no, it doesn't matter if you're a scalper, a day trader, a swinger. You have to start off from the top-down analysis. So right off the bat, off the monthly, fully bullish. Previous area of support about 120 respected, and then we have another area of support about 132 that got respected. As you can see, we were respecting this previous area of strong supply below 138. You can see previous area of demand, supply below, mini demand above, strong supply below, not that strong, supply below, not that strong. And then both of those supplies came back to test 132 and failed to break below it, right? So we've been respecting that as a support. Now we hop into the weekly. Previous area of support, which is about 132 again, got respected. And then we have a bullish engulfing. Actually, it is a bullish engulfing candle because it's engulfing the previous weekly candle. So now this weekly close, if we could close up above these wicks, these right here, we could potentially see buys all the way to 138. It all depends how. And you can see that's the range that I'm looking for, that I was looking for right here in the smaller time frames. So on the daily, so on the weekly is bullish still. The daily is bullish because price similar to GJ, price could come right here into the zone, give us a higher low and continue bullish. Or it it could break below, create the bearish engulfing candle, and continue bearish to 132. And that's what I had marked up right here on the 4-hour. As you can see, price tested its previous area of strong supply on the 4-hour supply, tested it and respected it, failed to keep on breaking highs. So now the next valid zone would be that daily zone, which is this one, right? We have to wait for price. Only thing I don't like is that price might even come down even lower. So actually, something like this could even be possibly all the way down here, maybe. That's annoying. So this is a full zone right here that price could come back and test. So either we gotta watch it right above here because this is the previous area of supply, but then again the area of strong demand that broke the structure is right here. This is where it starts. So we just have to wait and see. But the main trade that I actually liked was this NZDCAD trade. As you can see on the daily, it looks really clean, above previous area of key level, previous strong areas of supply and demand. We do have some buyer's liquidity here, as you can see, because if you're in a long right here, your stop loss would be what, maybe here. You could tell that she's about to get hit. So if somebody's in buys right here, these motherfuckers are about to get stopped out. Or if they were in buys here, which would have been a little bit more valid, they already got taken out of a break even. And let's say if they re-entered, fuck, that's annoying. When you, let's say you would enter in buys here, right? You would have some solid buys. Ah, shit, but where would you put your stop loss? Because if you're, this is on the 4-hour too, so there probably was an entry probably somewhere around here, but definitely your stop loss would have been here. TP1 would have been here at 40 pips, so I would have been like a 1-to-1. It would have still been a 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5. To TP at 0.81 but that would have been a profitable trade. And if you would have decided to enter it again after price came back and stopped you out, but why would you enter again when price already hit your TP? Now we would have been looking for sales below 0.81 and those sales would have already been in profit. So actually, never mind. You shouldn't have even re-entered. You should have been looking for sales. Especially if it happened to the 1-hour. On the 1-hour, you could already see we already had seen one bearish engulfing candle, two bearish engulfing candles, three bearish engulfing candles, and then price retraced, created all of these buyer liquidity, and then boom, broke it, created another lower high, and continued melting. So we already had structure here showing us that price wanted to start selling, or at least avoiding the buys, right? 1, 2, 3 bearish engulfing candles, and then price melted. So this buy should have actually not been taken. These buys were valid, these buys were not, but these sells were, and these sells would have mitigated these buyers right here. But I missed out on all of those freaking positions. When did these sales happen? Happened on last Wednesday at, I mean, you could have entered all day. Look at this. From Tuesday all the way to Wednesday, you had a full window to enter this trade. Still at a good risk to reward ratio. I mean, it would have taken for a really long, it would have taken 2 days. I mean, actually 3 to hit your target, but it would have been a good trade. And if you would have been holding the buys, that would have been 2 for 2, right? But now, I mean, the one that we are waiting for is this one. And look, we do have another strong impulse within the range right here. As you can see, the push started here, So now all we have to do is just for price to touch it. Price is gonna come and do this, right? Or we're gonna break below it and get new bearish. That's all that's all that we could. That's all the price could do. All we have to do is just wait. Now, waiting for the market to open. Back to work. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I command you health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for you and your entire family. Peace and love.